Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player.
All right, we are going to be talking about our top 8 Weiss Schwarz deck profile. Now, for those of you that don't actually know, we finished top 8. It was a relatively small event at Team League Columbus or Origins this past weekend, and I figured it would be best to do a quick little rundown of all of our deck profiles. Of course, we are going to be looking at my version of SAO. Now, one of the things I will say about this game is I admire net decking and looking to the OCG for a lot of their concepts. I know the metagames are different, but getting the chance to look at something that's not Switch in general, and just some of the different mentalities, I guess, that come across the pawn are relatively interesting. And I will say I was testing, what was it, one of the green, red, blue builds, and it's tri-colored. Your green engine is much less than it actually is, but I guess we're going to dig into this. So we are playing basically Link Strike with Standby and some other cool things. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of one-ofs here. So Kirito, Link Strike, actually this didn't come up at all, but his climax combo is you'll be able to put him into the graveyard to basically change out with another of your Link Strikes, and you'll be able to basically take advantage of it, because most of your Link Strikes say by the effect of Link Strike Kirito, or from the hand. So being able to get that 4th attack off seems to be pretty important in a lot of scenarios. Also, on place, check top X for your other characters to add 1 card to your hand. It's one of my favorite abilities in the game. He is meant to be a finisher, but he is very beautiful. But I didn't get to do the Link Strike combo at all. We did more of like the standby shenanigans. With standby, you actually get to take advantage of this. This is the good Asuna. Remember, you stand by her out at 2. You don't even have to play yellow for her. Stand by, bring her out. She'll give you the ability to kick stuff to memory and that fresh 2k boost. So good. This is the reason why the switch combo is so damn crucial, or why it works still. My MVP of the weekend was actually this. So if you have 4 other characters, she early drops at 2, which is insane. She then grants you the ability to draw, which, I mean, isn't really that good. She gets 11k power. And then the important thing about her is pay 1 when your center column attacks, discard 2 from your hand, mill the top 3. If you hit a climax, restand. I did this twice all weekend. That's a lot more than it actually should be, and it came up relevantly and restood. Pressure, pressure, pressure. This card should not be good in theory, but the amount of times that you're paying attention to your climaxes and maintaining what you're doing, the amount of times this damn thing came up, I am flabbergasted. This is amazing. Thank you, Value Town. 1 copy of Link Strike Elizabeth. This card's kind of but you have to play her. So when it's placed by the effect of Link Strike Kirito or from your hand, you get to heal 1. Or basically, you get to choose a net or avatar character in your waiting room and return to your hand. It doesn't heal, my bad. And then on attack, discard 2, ping for 1. That 1 damage came up very relevantly. You can get an early game cancel, but getting that 1 additional damage was pretty fine. I mean, it's a 1-of that you can tutor. This literally is almost 1-ofs the deck. 1 copy of Yui. Yui's a funny card. So when she's played, she gets 500 multiplied by the number of avatar and net characters you have. You can discard 2 cards from your hand to the waiting room, and then take all of your opponent's stock, put them in the drop zone. Your opponent has to take cards from the top of their deck, put them back into the stock. Thank you, getting rid of those pesky climaxes. Also, if an attack that you receive is not canceled, you get to scry. Nothing too major there. 3 copies of Silica. I hate Silica as a character, but we have to play this. On place, heal 1. Your opponent doesn't get access to backups in battle involving her, which is pretty damn good, honestly. But she is a 9/5. She does an early drop, but I mean, healing and denial of backups is pretty good. You also, like I said, you have access to whichever skill tree you want to go down because of all of the 1-ofs, which is actually pretty cool in the grand scheme of things. One copy of Lifa. You are playing green, so you do get access to a lot more interesting things. I actually didn't really like this card, but after I found out that it was a clock shooter, playing it more, and she does get the same check X for your other avatar characters. Yeah, this has pretty good value. And then 2 copies of my new friend Elizabeth. I actually wasn't playing this card for a little bit, and then I started playing it, and I was like, oh, so if you have 2 or less climaxes, she early drops at 2. She gets 500 for each of your other characters, and then when you play her, you get to discard a card, take your card in your clock, put it into stock. Actually, really important value. This is another one of those, damn, really good. If you're at 3 stock, you basically get to drop 2 early game characters. Value time. The thing I was testing with this build, the reason why I wanted to play this for the event, was if you're splashing green, you get access to the big ol' shield. Shield is 2/3, pay 3 stock at level 2 and above. Basically get to select a character, character can't deal damage to you. This only came up once when I was getting beat down by SAO and Switch. Basically got to survive an attack because of this. Now, the other reason why Switch is, or Standby is so good is because you get to have access to this scrolling monster. So this card is, it gains 1000 attack for each of your other avatars. So if you have 4 characters out, this is 10/5 at level 1. And it also gets the ability of, at the beginning of your encore step, if you do not have any other characters at rest and your center stage, you have to just pay 1 stock, rest this thing. This is a beast. This is not fair in terms of what this does. 1 copy of this. I did find myself missing Mr. Dicey Cafe Man. Mr. Cafe Man is an anti-changer, but in a lot of situations where I was playing this, top checking, the top card was actually pretty important. Saved me a lot of bad situations, and for that I do thank you, Lifa. You were actually pretty useful. And then 1 copy of this. I was indifferent about this all weekend. I wanted the super attacker version of Sinon, just to be 13,000, beating over larger things. This didn't come up at all, but I understand the mentality of playing it. No really regrets though. I get it, but I still miss Naya Girl. Alright, on to 1s. 2 copies of Determination Kirito. Do stuff with the top, turn into 6/5. On Death Mill 3, add 1 character to hand, discard 1. It's actually good because you can call over him, take full advantage of him. Really good card for filtering, actually. Plus he's 6/5 and he's a free drop if you're going down the blue train. 2 copies of this. This is a level 1 reverser, actually. This card was actually really insane. Also being able to discard said climax from your hand. I got climax flooded a couple times. Being able to discard those climaxes, salvage a character from your waiting room, actually came up a lot more than it should have, just for relevance. 4 copies of level 1 Silica. Most of the time she's going to be 7/5 with the ability to discard a character from your hand. Once again, all those 1-ofs find their ability to head to the waiting room to give you access to your toolbox. 7/5, pay 1 is pretty damn good in this game. Once again, large beaters of the deck. So, there's that. Alright, on to the 1s, or the 0s. Mr. Runner himself. Middle of the top card of your deck. I don't know where I want to go. No, I'll go over. No, I'll go over here. Runs out of the way of danger. Also gives you the ability to load up your graveyard in the early game, so you don't draw more dead cards. Sometimes you mill a climax and life just sucks, but not much you can really do about that. 3 copies of Silica on place. Check top if it's character added to hand. Discard a card. Level 0 reverser as well. I love value. I don't know about you guys, but Silica is pretty damn good for that regard. This is the card that makes Standby the nuts. So when she climax combos with your Standby on place, return her to the hand, check the top. Oh, actually on place, check the top. Either leave it on top of your deck, but in the graveyard. When you use Heinous Trap, I may pay a cost for you to reveal the top of your deck. The card is an avatar or character, put it into your hand, and this guy goes back into your hand as well. Free value. Also playing green, you get access to this fantastic card. When you place a CC, pay 1, check top 4, add an avatar character to your hand. Pretty good, right? This card was actually really good. I was actually surprised all weekend how much this actually came up. Pay 1 stock, discard a character, discard a card, and then you get to search for an avatar net. Also gives all of your characters the continuous ability they cannot side attack, but she's dying anyway. 2 good brainstormers. This is actually, I love this thing, but she does tap 2, and then 2 of this. This came up once, it died outside of that. So, there's my 0 game. As for climaxes, we're playing 3 of these. 1K1s were actually not bad. I was actually playing a pure build of 4 standby and 4 of these. But actually, these were good. The random doors came up to get the free salvage, but also just the 1K aggressiveness from this was actually good. This doesn't give you really anything except to revive a character, which is a bit costly at times. But these did have their place, and these were kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you. I guess this did trigger once and get me back 1 of these, so I could kill my opponent. But it was about to the value in which I honestly got out of this set of climaxes. I love standby, but you've got to build your standby a lot correctly, or else you're going to run into some issues in the grand scheme of things. So that is the SAO build I took to Columbus this weekend. We finished in top 8, unfortunately. Wasn't as great as I had hoped, but no, still something. So guys, check out tradingcardmint.com down below in the description for me, guys. It would do me a huge favor. And that's all I got for this video, guys. Peace on out, homies.